So I'm gonna see if I can make this happen as best I can. So if this was in regards to the Order of the Eastern Star. So this go live is basically talking about, once again, we're talking about the Order of the Eastern Star. Um, a couple of sisters who are definitely watching the page wanted me to definitely go in on the Order of the Eastern Star for a little bit, and I'm gonna do that. Being a patron, a past patron, um, I'm gonna see what I can do to try to make this happen. So let's take a look at the Order of the Eastern Star and see where the Order of the Eastern Star actually comes from. From my reading and the research I've done on it, the Order of the Eastern Star comes from France. Yes, the Order of the Eastern Star comes from France. It originally came up as the Adoptive Masonry. That is the name of the original Eastern Star concept, was called Adoptive Masonry. You can look that up for yourself, and I can tell you the reference. I got it from this book right here. This is what I got it from. So you can't say that I'm giving you bad information. I'm definitely getting it out of various books I have and come across. So once again, the Order of the Eastern Star was known before they called it Eastern Star, Adoptive Masonry. That's what it was known. And the reason the Order of the Eastern Star was created here in the United States, and is based upon those five things of womanhood: a mother, a daughter, a sister. It was also used to be a servant uh, to the brothers. And I know some people are going to say, wait. No, it is a fact that the Order of the Eastern Star at one time was for that purpose. If you look at America and how the woman was once viewed, the Eastern Star was along that same line. They were along that same line. They was used for the service and say what the women have said. That was the only reason why, because the women represented those five elements of womanhood. And the unique thing is that brother Robert Morris, Rob Morris, who brought the order from France to the United States, he took that and reshaped it. He made it what it is today, and that's really how the name changed from Adoptive Masonry to the Order of the Eastern Star. And incorporated that into the order. But I'm going to get right down to it, and I'm going to read some stuff to you. So it says the forerunner of what we know today as the Order of the Eastern Star was known as Adoptive Masonry. Adoptive Masonry, sometimes referred to as female masonry, has its origin in France, where it was the most exclusive and prominent organization in part of Europe. The term adoptive was employed because it was required that all orders of this class should be under guardianship of some regular lodge or Freemasonry. Okay? Widows, mothers, sisters, and daughters of Masons might be brought into closer relationship with the order of Freemasonry, might share the same benefits as Masonry to the full extent, especially to obtain assistance and protections when needed, and might be given the privilege of close cooperation with the Masonic Lodge in their labors of charity, in their endeavors of humanity and progress. Okay, and then it goes on to say, it says French Masons were always noted for their chivalry, hence their relationship and extends to their wives, some of the blessings of the fraternity. That's where you get that concept from. No more, no less. But I'll tell you this: Freemasonry here in the United States, not Freemasonry, the Order of the Eastern Star here in the United States has really changed a whole lot. The Order of the Eastern Star is now recognized across the globe, like Freemasonry. Freemasonry is recognized across the globe, but the Order of the Eastern Star is not. As far as I know of, there are really no Eastern Star grand chapters and chapters outside of the United States. There may be some, but very few, very limited. And unless your grand chapter somehow or your grand lodge has amenities with that organization, you stuck, sisters. You don't get to travel like the brothers. You don't. Not here in the United States, you don't. Now, if you was over in Europe, if you were a female Freemason in Europe and out of this country and in other places, then you will be able to do those things. Then you will be able to travel. But right now, you stuck because from what I've read, and I'm going to read some more out of here, Freemasonry, I mean, the Order of Eastern Star is considered clandestine, considered a rogue organization by the Grand Lodge of England, and a lot of people consider them the mother of the fraternal order itself. But I don't. I don't. But I'm just saying, other people do. I consider the Grand Lodge of England an extension of Freemasonry, just like any other Grand Lodge. However, to each his own. So, tea does about it good. So, with that being said, you know, the Order of the Eastern Star is a great organization for our daughters, our wives, our widows, our friends, you know, to be a part of. But also, you must understand that it's only here in the United States for the most part. 98% is only here in the United States. So don't. I would say, since it's only here in the United States, that you should really kind of bond together with other grand chapters, other chapters, and do other things from other jurisdictions, and really reach out across the boundaries and really formulate that kinship for which the Eastern Star holds so dear. However, what happens is that just like in Freemasonry, the Order of the Eastern Star get caught up in that thing too. And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. So here's what I was told. Here's what I was said to me in regards to the Order of the Eastern Star. A sister was looking to become a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, and this was brought to my attention. The sister said, "Who did you have to sleep with in order to become an Eastern Star?" The other young lady looked at her and said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Yes, I had to sleep with somebody to become a member of the Order of the Eastern Star." I am not going to call the chapter name out, but I do know the chapter. The sister then said, "Well, as far as I know of, I'm becoming a member, and I had never been asked to do that." And I believe this is what happens in the Order of the Eastern Star. It gets a bad rep, you know. Freemason gets a bad rep because people do some foul things, and that's one of the things that some brothers may require a sister to do. It doesn't happen here in this jurisdiction, as far as I know of, and you know, if they did, they gotta go. But I do know that this has happened. It's been brought to my attention, and I've even talked to the sister that this was approached to. So, you know, people say, "Well, prove it, say this, say that." No, I'm not calling no names, but that sister will be coming into this jurisdiction. I know that, and it's just funny how we go about doing that. So I'm going to go on down a little bit uh, and share this with you. So there were 4 degrees in the adoptive lodges. They were comparable to the same respects as the 3 degrees in the Blue Lodge, as far as masonry was concerned. But in no sense did any of them have the same rites and symbols, mysteries of the secrets of the Blue Lodge Freemasonry. The principle of the virtues of honor and fidelity, industrious and charity, of the fraternalism for which Freemasonry were similar to those of Freemasonry, and the rites and symbolism of the order was ancient and comes from the Bible, but entirely different from the rites and ceremonies of Freemasonry. The fourth degree had no correspondence in the degree in legitimacy. Masonry, it was simply a summit of the rites of adoption and was known as the degree of perfected mistress. That was a degree in the Order of the Eastern Star called perfected mistress. It's there. And it's a unique thing. I kind of like, I was like, wow, that's deep. That's deep. And then it goes on to say, it says the rights of adoption was never therefore introduced into America. Robert Morris attempted to introduce an imitation of that, which he had invented under the name of American Adoptive Rights. It consisted of ceremonies of initiation intended as a primarily trial for the candidate of the 5 degrees named as follows: Jethon's daughter as the daughter degree, Ruth as the widow degree, Esther as the wife degree, Martha as the sister degree, Electa as the Christian and married degree. The purpose of this adoptive right, which he proposed to call the Eastern Star, as expressed by Robert Morris. So he took the idea of adoptive Freemason from France, brought it to the States, and changed it over to the Order of the Eastern Star. And then it goes on and says the original purpose of this rite, which has become so popular in France and throughout much of Europe, and it has a statement of Mr. Morris said, the objective of this rite is to associate in one common bond with the worthy wives, widows, and daughters and sisters of Freemasons, so as to make their adoptive privileges available for all the purposes in Masonry, to secure them as an advantage of their claim in moral society, charitable points of views from them, their performance of the correspondence and duty. So it was all about being close. It was all about the wives, the daughters, the mothers being close in proximity to Freemasonry. So they had called it an adoptive lodge. An adoptive lodge was just what was needed at that time. And I tell you, the unique thing about this is that this book right here, and I've shown it before, it says The Eastern Star, The Evolution from a Rite to an Order. That's a good book. But I would tell you this also, that it says the Order of the Eastern Star right here, and I got some things underlined, that goes even deeper into the Order of the Eastern Star. And I would tell anyone, if you're looking to really get into the Order of the Eastern Star, it's a great organization to be part of, just like being a Mason. You have your own thing going, your own obligations, your own signs, token, passwords. And to the brothers, you know, it gets to be a little deep when you are talking to a sister of the order and you don't know how to approach them. And I would tell any Mason, you know, get initiated in Eastern Star. You would be able to have that communication with them. It's an honor really to walk and talk with a sister of the order and really see see how they do their work. You know, whether it's I think they want to call it winding the Lambeth or walking the points. They have their own thing, and it's beautiful once you get into it. So I just wanted to share this with you. I hope you got something from it. Until we meet again, always keep your light on and stay out them bushes. I'm yours truly. I'm out.